Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing my second trimester overview and I'm going to be covering weeks 13 through 24. So I'm going to recap a little bit of my first trimester. Just in case you haven't seen that video, I'm going to I'm going to link it in the description box below and in this video. It's a very emotional video. My pregnancy is just very emotional in general. But I forgot to mention in that video that I could not stand and still cannot stand the smell of coffee. I actually banned coffee from my house for the whole pregnancy because I can't stand the smell. It makes me so nauseous. Me and my husband are coffee addicts, and since he likes coffee and I don't allow him to make it at home, I just tell him to go get some from Starbucks. But I can't stand the smell of it in his breath, so it's just a mess. But yeah, coffee is no good for me in this pregnancy. With my daughter, I was perfectly fine with coffee, and with this one, I just can't stand it, can't taste it, can't smell it. Just in case you're new to this channel, I am having a home birth with this pregnancy. And if you haven't seen my latest video why I am having a home birth, I'm also going to link that video in the description box below, and also you can click somewhere up here. It's a very interesting video. It's long, but it's so worth it. It's not common to have a home birth, but this is something that I really wanted, and you will see my reasons why. Maybe that can interest you in having a home birth. That video touches on my natural birth with my daughter in a hospital setting, which was all natural, no drugs, and my experience with that, which was bittersweet, but I'll let you watch it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below, whether it's related to home birth or natural birth. I am open to answering any of those questions. So cravings, from 13 weeks to, I would say, 16, 17 weeks, I've been craving bad stuff. I like to eat organic and I live a very healthy lifestyle, but I've been craving McGriddles from McDonald's, Chinese food, and also pizza. But not just any pizza, it's New York pizza.
And you know what I'm talking about? Anybody who's had a New York pizza, it's huge. And I can eat like 2 of those.
But yes, that only lasted like a month, and then I went back to eating healthy. That's my little fast food cravings. But my long-term cravings, since I've been having heartburn, which I also have with my daughter, to treat the heartburn, I usually have like ice cream, and I've been having ice cream with like granola or Cheerios on top. If I don't feel like having ice cream, I usually drink organic coconut milk, almond milk, and soy milk. Another craving I've been having but I can't have is sushi and alcohol, which is a big no-no when it comes to pregnancy. So that's been my little craving that I've been having. So the first time I felt the baby move was around 13 weeks, and it was so crazy. So I was laying in bed and I fell asleep, and all of a sudden I felt like a knot that just came out of the sheets because I was covered. And the knot was like so strong that it woke me up. And by the time I was able to like grab my camera to try to like snap a picture or record it, it just went like down. It was just flat. So it was like the weirdest thing. It came out like a little ball. That's the only way I can describe it. I read that with second pregnancies, you do feel the baby move sooner than with your first pregnancy. So I definitely felt it quite early at 13 weeks. But ever since then, he just was very active. I haven't been able to wear pants. Anytime I wear jeans and I put the button or the zipper, all I feel is him kicking the zipper and kicking the button. So it was just hilarious. He absolutely hates anything with zippers or buttons or anything that was tight. Anything that I wore, it had to be loose, because if he felt it, he was annoyed by it, and he told me. When I started to feel the movements. I noticed that he favored the lower right hand side of my belly. So I don't know if that has anything to do because it's a boy or a girl, but I figured I'll share that information. He was always hanging out in the lower right hand side of my belly. And with my prenatal visits with my midwife, anytime she would check the heartbeat, he was always there. But now at 24 weeks, he's now a little bit bigger and he's exploring more of the other side of my belly, and he's just more all over the place now. So I didn't really start to show until I was 20 weeks. And this is a picture of me at 20 weeks. As you can see, I was barely showing. And this is from our pregnancy announcement. And this next picture is at 24 weeks, which was not too long ago. My belly grew a little bit more. So, as for the symptoms that I was having, I need to be careful of, which I also forgot to mention in my first trimester video, is a very scary experience that I'm having with this pregnancy, which is to be overheated. If I get too hot, I start to faint. Like I feel my eyes go blind, and also to get like a ringing in my ears that I go deaf. The first time this happened, I didn't know what was happening to me, but all of a sudden the first thing I felt was a little bit of lightheadedness, and I didn't think too much of it. But quickly, within a matter of like 2 or 3 minutes, my heart started to palpitate, my eyesight started to get dark, and I wasn't able to see at all. I didn't pass out or faint, but I was temporarily blind and deaf for like 10 minutes. The only thing I remember is holding tight to my daughter's hand because she was actually the one taking me outside to get some fresh air. And I'm telling you, this little girl, she's been taking good care of me with this pregnancy. And I couldn't hear or see him, but he was behind me just in case I fainted, because if I fainted, he was the one that was going to catch me. So I was still holding my daughter's hand and she was guiding me to a bench, and I started to regain a little bit of my eyesight, and all I heard was like a muffle, and it was my husband, and he was telling me that to stay on the bench and that he was going to go get some water and juice at the corner store. So he ran to the corner store, got me water, got me juice. Once he came back with the water and the juice, I started to regain my hearing and my sight. I would say that this was kind of like a fainting spell that happens when you're dehydrated, or like a drop in sugar. Yeah, it was quite scary, so I've been taking care of that, and it hasn't been happening because now I know that I have to drink a lot of water and always carry something sweet with me just in case it happens, and to always have layers that I can take off when I get too hot. With this pregnancy, I've noticed that I've been less hairy. I think I only shave like once a month, and when I was pregnant with my daughter, it was the opposite. I was more hairier, I had to shave more often. And when I asked around, my best friend, she had a boy, and she also said she was less hairy. And then I have another friend who is having a baby girl. She said that she's hairier, she has to shave like every other day. So I guess I can safely say that if you are hairier with your pregnancy, you're having a girl, and if you're less hairier, you're having a boy. Also too, my skin has been more vibrant and glowy. I go days and days without wearing any makeup. The only thing I do is my eyebrows, and I don't feel like I have to cover up or do anything to my face, so that's pretty great. With my daughter, I broke out more. So I'd like to say that with a girl, you break out more, and with a boy, you look more glowy, but don't quote me on that one. So another change that happened during this trimester is that my hormones have been a little crazy, and I can't find a deodorant that works. I always feel sweaty, and I only use natural deodorant. I must have tried at least 4 to 5 deodorants. I even made my own deodorant recipe to try to see if that worked, and nothing really helped except one. But this is the picture of the deodorant that does work for me with my pregnancy and my hormone changes. But yeah, so it was so hard to find a deodorant that can help. So around 22 weeks, I randomly started getting, this is a little TMI, but hemorrhoids. And this is something that is common in pregnancy because your body is producing more blood supply in preparation for labor, and that lasted like 2 weeks. That I was stuck at home, that I couldn't drive, I couldn't sit. I had to lay on my side for the majority of the day. It was very painful. I tried different medicines, I tried home remedies, over the counters, and nothing seems to have helped, but just let time pass by until the swelling went down. But yeah, it was so painful that I was in tears and I was on the verge of calling an ambulance to take me to the hospital. I had no idea how to get rid of it. I was nervous. I was in contact with my midwife because I had no idea what to do. She was telling me a whole bunch of different remedies and things I can try over the counter. Nothing seemed to have helped much, but just let time pass. So I was suffering from hemorrhoids for about 2 weeks, and that was not pleasant at all. So for sleeping, have I been sleeping at night? No, I haven't. Ever since, I would say 20 weeks, I haven't been able to sleep. I've been suffering with a stuffy nose, and that just all goes back to your body producing a lot of blood, and the blood vessels in my nose were swollen. But what I did to help that was I turned on my diffuser and I started diffusing peppermint, lemon oil, and lavender, and that seemed to have helped overnight. And once my airway started to clear up a bit, I quickly jumped onto the next phase of not sleeping, which was,
this little baby keeps moving so much inside me.
Ever since 13 weeks, this little guy has just been crazy. He's just been like bouncing around. He's been keeping me awake every single night from 11 o'clock to 5 in the morning, and I have not been sleeping. So my nighttime sleep routine is from 7 to 10. I take a nap. I spend some time with the family in the living room, but it ends up with me napping. Then I move on to the bed to try to sleep. I give myself an hour to try to sleep in the bed, and then after that I just come back to the living room and I start to try to get myself to sleep by watching TV or doing stuff around the house. But yeah, this little boy just keeps me up all night, and the pattern is always from 11 to 5 a.m. until he stops moving and bouncing around, that I can finally go to sleep. And it's pretty funny when they start moving, because I try to record the moments which my belly shows movement. I would record my belly, but I had the light on. The baby can see the light through the belly because he would immediately stop moving. So I would try to figure out a way of recording without having the light hit him. Another thing that's been keeping me awake is my frequent trips to the bathroom. The baby has been pushing my bladder, and I've been getting up at least 3 or 4 times a night, and yeah, I already know that's gonna be something that's gonna continue to happen up until the end of the pregnancy. So since I haven't been sleeping, I've been just trying to get comfortable since the belly is bigger. I got this lavender and chamomile soap from Bath and Body Works. I think it's called the Sleep Body Wash. I've been sleeping on a cloud of pillows, but what has been very comfortable, which I recommend for all pregnant women, is getting a body pillow. This is my body pillow, and it's awesome. You can just maneuver it however you need to get comfy. Since I am having a midwife, I've been having my visits every 4 weeks, so every month. I came in this week, which is at 24 weeks, so the last time I saw her was at 20 weeks, and at 20 weeks I got a blood test done, and it came back that I had anemia. So my midwife put me on these natural iron supplements that are the bomb. I remember taking iron supplements before, and they made my stomach hurt, and they gave me like a bad metal taste in my mouth, and also constipation. Then you have to take a laxative. But no, with this one's all natural, and you have like no symptoms at all. So I absolutely love it. And I redid the blood test this week. My blood count went up, so I am going to continue taking that supplement until the end of my pregnancy. Since I am having a home birth, I am going to talk about my visits with my midwife. So we've been going to her office in Brooklyn, and she's amazing. From day one, she has been keeping my daughter involved in the pregnancy. My daughter helps her with the fetal monitor when it's time to check the baby's heartbeat. She would have my daughter turn the Doppler on, and then when she finished checking the heartbeat, she would give my daughter a tissue to wipe the jelly off my belly. And then when it's time to measure my fundal height, which is the height of the growth of the baby, she would use a tape measure. But she's been very nurturing and very caring when it came to my daughter. My daughter quickly got attached to her. My husband feels very much involved in the pregnancy, so it's very nice to have that one-on-one experience with my midwife, because I know that she cares and she really wants the best for my family and the baby and the pregnancy. What I like about my midwife is that she has electronic records, so I have access to my medical records.
Because I have pregnancy brain and I'm very forgetful,
so I'm able to go back into her detailed medical records and just see what we discussed that day. So in a couple of days, I'm going to be entering my 3rd trimester, and I'm really excited. This is my last trimester, and I can't wait to meet my baby boy. Hopefully he'll let me sleep and he won't move so much. I can only hope so, because I know that he's gonna get stronger and bigger and he's gonna kick, and he wants to come out. I don't know. Oh, since I am having a home birth, I just want to give a little sneak peek as to what I am going to expect. At around 30 weeks, I'm going to still be going to her office in Brooklyn, I think every 2 weeks. But what I'm most excited for is that starting from 36 weeks, she's going to be doing home visits in my house. So that's super awesome, because I don't have to be trekking with my big old belly to go have my prenatal visits. She's gonna come here to my house. She's gonna get familiar with my home and where things are situated. She's gonna bring her equipment and everything she needs to check on my health and the baby's health. I'm super excited for the 3rd trimester. Stay tuned for my 3rd trimester update, which will probably happen after I have the baby. Wow. Yeah, after I have the baby, I'm going to do my 3rd trimester update. Check out my description box below for the rest of my pregnancy videos. And don't forget to subscribe to follow up with my pregnancy and the birth of my baby, because I will be recording it. I have a couple of more surprises for my channel. So until next time, bye everybody!